Inspirations and ideas, they can come in your head one day and they've disappeared out the next day. Keep them together in a book. So, inspiration books, what it is, what it can be, how it's useful. Let's dive in. Hello, I'm Helen. Welcome to my channel. I've been doing some things in my inspiration book today, and I thought you may like to have a look, see what's in there. May give you some ideas for your own inspiration book. So what is an inspiration book? For me, it is exactly that. It's a book with inspiration in. And I wanted this book to kind of reflect things that are important to me. So I've called it Some Things I Love, and even the wordage on the front is something that I love doing. I like cutting out random words and putting them together. I've done artworks in the past with newspaper font and print. So it is just a collection of ideas. And for me, I've put it together within a little book, but it doesn't have to be within a book. This is a homemade journal, homemade notebook that I've made from, this is wallpaper paper that I've painted, and I've bound it with a 3-hole binding. I just happen to have it, so I thought, right, well, I'm going to use it. This is what I'm going to use it for. That's what I've used there. But in the past, this is one that I used at college, and this is just a commercial sketchbook. It's what works for you. So yeah, at college, it was just literally what's grabbed my attention that week, that, or whether it's, related to a particular project. And it's just cuttings and images and printouts. I've put the markers in here because it's interesting how things do repeat. This is obviously from the V&A Museum. I'd had a trip down there. These are photographs, very poor photographs. Chairs. I've got chairs in this book here. So chairs were important even back then. And this is probably 2006. Doors, I've got doors and the locks. There's windows there, but it was related to another project, but it's interesting how images do repeat. And here's another chair here made out of recycled plastic. But my little book that I've been working on today is just some little things that I love, and it's just literally a collection of things that I do like. So elephants, you've seen me draw an elephant before. There are lots of elephants in my house. Elephants, so memory of the elephants. I was very lucky enough to go and have a trip to Africa, and the silence of them as they walk, they're not noisy creatures at all, and they're just big, beautiful beasts. But it's the silence of the elephants that I've written about here, and the noise of the geese. It's coming up to winter now in the UK, and we're getting more and more geese coming into the country that have flown south or flying south. The geese on the wing is lovely. I love packaging. I do love a foreign supermarket. Whenever I go abroad, it is always very lovely shopping and seeing all the beautiful packaging. This is obviously stuff that I can buy in the UK here, but it is lovely. I love it for the colours, for the texts, for the graphics. Just beautiful. Tea is always important. So I've got my some cutting from my tea bag box, and a piece of fabric from the fabric that I used to make a tea cozy with. Yeah, tea's important. It's always been important in my life. Bees are. I just love a bee, honeybee. It's got special memories because it's a memory attached to Dad being a beekeeper. So bees, birds. Interestingly, when I was doing a lot of my collage work, I did, and I do still return to the basic bird shape, but I like the naive quality of textiles. So that's my reference. That's my imagery here. Is two of these are textiles, and I've reminded myself where I've seen textiles, so I know where to look for things as well in my huge amount of photos that I've got on my computer. So yeah, not necessarily chickens, it's just the bird shape. And interestingly, I was in the Fitzwilliam Museum yesterday, and this bird shape here is on a Greek vase, Just gorgeous. Love it. Love it. I don't think I've got any other birds. Oh yeah, there's a goose there. Yeah, it's just that simple, naive shape of birds. Just beautiful. Ceramics. Fitzwilliam yesterday. This is all ceramics. I only went to the ceramics department just to have a look through. Yeah, just to do some sketching in the Fitzwilliam. But yeah, studio ceramics has always been important. I was, and I still, when I can, dabble with clay, love clay. A lot of the ceramics in my house are handmade. I love a bit of studio pottery, but I also love it in imagery as well, particularly sort of Ben Nicholson and Mary Fedden type still lifes. Just beautiful. These pots in the Fitzwilliam and the British Museum, they've been around for hundreds of years. So yeah, it's incredible. So ceramics is important, and I do love ceramics. I love a chair. So chairs had to feature. I have lots of chairs in my house. It's not a big house by any stretch of the imagination, but there are a lot of chairs. And it's the hard chairs that I love rather than armchairy type chairs. And I love the quirkiness of them, the individuality of them, the shape, the form, the feel of them, especially old wooden ones. The smoothness of the wood. My dad was a carpenter as well, so that ties in quite nicely. So chairs are very important, and given the house room, I'm a bit of a sucker for a junk shop chair, and to refurbish a chair, just love it. Love chairs. So yeah, chairs feature. Doorways and doors and doorways. Think about the things that you photograph when you're on holiday. What draws your attention when you're on holiday? And yeah, doors and doorways for me, archways. It's a curiosity about a doorway, isn't there? Where is it going? Where does it lead to? What's inside? What's the other side? They don't need to be grand. They don't need to be fancy. They're all individual. Just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And it's not just the doors, it's also the locks and the handles, the door furniture as well, the history of these doors, the history of the hinges. So that's me. That's the end of my book. I can put another double page spread there if I want to, but it's only a short book of some of the things that are important to me that I could work further from. Obviously, the ceramics is the thing that's getting my attention at the moment. I'm doing lots of vases and jugs, and I'm still working my way through my year of daily tea drawings. So yeah, the ceramics is very inspiring for me at the moment, hence going to the Fitzwilliam as well and looking at the ceramics there. So an ideas book is great for somebody who loves cutting and sticking. It's a lovely thing to do. It will be a place to hold all your ideas and inspirations. For me, it's junk journaling with a purpose. I could have easily used a repurposed book for this, and that would make a lovely inspiration journal. This is a lovely thing to do now. The nights are drawing in. We're in October here in the UK at the moment. The nights are longer, and so this is a nice thing to do for a cozy TV night. Now, why would you want to put together one of these books? Why take the time and the effort to do this? This is a good way of reminding yourself what has appealed, what you like, the things that you're drawn to, the colours, the shapes, the textures, the imagery. What are the things you like? And so it's a nice starting point for any project, is to have a little flick through your inspiration book and see what takes your fancy, see what ideas bounce from the inspiration book. So it's for reference, it's for ideas, it's also for doing something when you're stuck. It's a good way of, if you are stuck and you don't know what to make, but your fingers are itching and you want to make something, then put together your ideas book, and you never know what things will bounce from that. Just doing the process of just doing something leads to growth. So you could use, like I've done, you can use a handmade book, or you could repurpose an old book, repurpose a board book from the children's section, and have it as a hardback, hard pages book, and glue and paint and stick your ideas and inspirations on the pages there. You could do, like I've done from college, just use a sketchbook. Just go and buy yourself a new sketchbook, exercise book, ring binder. Put it on some computer paper and put it in a ring binder. It really doesn't matter. You could have a scrapbook. You could have a big sheet of paper and have it like a vision board. Have it up on your pin board, on your wall, on inside of your cupboard door. It doesn't matter. You could do it digitally. Absolutely, you could do it digitally. You could do it as a Pinterest board. You could put it together and have it as your screensaver or a series of screensavers on your computer. You could put it together digitally and have it as a screensaver on your phone. There's lots of ideas of how. For me, an inspiration book is a good thing to have. It's a nice thing to have. And it's something that I turn to when I'm a bit stuck for inspiration because it's visual as opposed to a list. It triggers further ideas. It is a bit more inspiring visually than just having a list. I'm a great list writer, but it's nicer for me to have a visual one. It is a little bit more difficult to do these days because, of course, we have less imagery, we have less magazines, less papers, less junk mail even. Even when you're going out and about and you go to galleries or museums or whatever, I'm always a sucker for buying the postcards. I'll come away with 3 or 4 postcards. And although those postcards don't really make it into my inspiration books now, they did when I was at uni, when I was at college, I tend to have a box of postcards and I keep my exhibition guides in that box as well. Yeah, I'll have a flick through my postcards, and they're not all exhibition postcards. They're postcards that people have sent. They're postcards that I've picked up in junk shops. It's in the postcard format, basically, a box of cards I can look through. Have fun, put together your inspiration book. I hope that's given you some ideas for what you can do with your ideas and inspirations, and have fun putting your own inspiration book together. Please like and subscribe, and until next time, bye for now.